We're going to be looking at Facebook's Segment Anything Model 3. Now, this is a model that's had previous releases 1 and 2, but for Model 3, it introduces new things such as visual prompts that are able to precisely identify things inside of the video. So the cool thing about this is you can run this locally. This is an open release, and I'm going to show how you can get it up and running on your computer today. So I've been getting into vision stuff lately, and I had a text prompt for a red flower, and here we can see that it's choosing these red flowers in the top left corner here, and this is the base image here. And I've also gotten this working on some videos. So in here, I've got some gameplay from Path of Exile, and I have been, I was just selecting a text prompt for monster, and you can see that it is selecting, identifying, and putting bounding boxes on the monsters that are appearing. Now, some of the monsters it misses, but it's fairly good, I'd say, at tracking them as I'm going through the map here, which is pretty fantastic because it is understanding what class I want to use here based on the text prompt. So this is just a couple of examples, but it is pretty general. I can specify other things, like if I go back here, I can say, let's look at a bench here, run the image segmentation, and you can see that it's now selected the bench. Instead of red flower, I can say flowers, plural, and it's going to select these bunches here. I can say statue, and it's going to select the statues. Maybe I have that wrong, but it's not getting these statues, but it will be able to select things if I even just click on the image here, run image segmentation, and you can see now it's selecting that statue there. So very powerful model. Not only is it able to segment things out, the cool thing for this is it's able to gather coordinates for it with the kind of way that it's finding items inside of the image, which can be used downstream for a bunch of other things that require precise coordinates inside of a image frame. So yeah, I'm going to show how you can get this installed on your computer if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. The first thing is you're going to need to get this model ungated. Now, I know some people have had issues with ungating this. I saw inside of the community issues here. I don't know what the resolution is for that because you need Facebook to approve your access to this. But once you have access to this, it's fairly simple to get this up and running on your computer. We're going to be using the repository that I have set up for this because I have everything inside of UV. That just makes things installing a little bit easier. So we're going to go through with my repository on here. And so once you have the access to the repository, you can just go into any page or any file browser. We're going to go open up we're going to do CMD in the top address bar. Then we're going to go back into Git, and then we're going to clone this repository. Now, I guess I should mention you do need a couple of other requirements for this. You're going to need UV Astral. So you're going to need UV Astral here. This is to manage Python. And then you're going to need Git. So this is going to allow you to clone it. So download these, go through all the default options and get those installed. Installation can be done here for UV. And so once you have UV and then Git, you should be ready to go. For video, you will also need FFmpeg though. So if you don't have FFmpeg installed on your computer, go ahead and do that. There are plenty of YouTube tutorials for that. So once you've got those prerequisites, we're just going to hop up in here and do git clone that link that we copied earlier. And that's going to get the repo installed locally or downloaded locally. Then we are going to change directory into SAM-3. And then once we're in here, since we've got UV, all we need to do is UV sync Python, or we don't even need to do the Python here. Just do extra dev and then / extra notebooks. So that's going to create a Python environment at the version that we need and get all of the packages installed at the versions that we need them. And so because we have that notebooks option selected, we can also run some Jupyter notebooks inside of there to test things out too. And for this tutorial today, I'm just going to open everything in code by doing code space dot. Now, that code space dot that I just did requires VS Code to be installed on your computer. So if you don't have VS Code installed, you won't be able to run that. So if you just want to run the Gradio interface, what you can just do instead is just type uv run Gradio. I'm going to do tab to finish that up. And this is going to go ahead and run the Gradio app. And then you'll see that it's running on a local URL, which you just do control, left click, and it's going to pop open inside of the browser. And then what you're going to want to do is just click on the load models section here. So that is going to load the models. And if you don't have them, what it's going to do is download those models for you. So if you run into any issues here, it's most likely involved with setting up Hugging Face correctly in your environment. So what you need to do is just make sure that you authenticate your Hugging Face with an auth token. And so we could do that by doing this hfauth login here. So you would just go into the same repository auth, or in this case, we're going to need to uv run hfauth login. And that's going to prompt you here where it's going to require you to log in, but I'm already logged in here, so it's not going to let me. And so you just go through this and make sure that your account that has been approved for the model has been authenticated, and then you should be able to download it. So I'm going to hop back now into VS Code here, and we are just going to go into some of the notebooks just to check those out. So we've got this image segmentation notebook here that all I'm going to do is just click on run all Python environments, and then I'm going to choose the Python environment here for me, and that's going to load and run all of these Jupyter cells in here, and just do kind of like a test run to make sure our virtual environment is all set up and our computer can indeed run this. So the image file that it's using is already downloaded into the repo, so we'll see it process shortly. And so you can see that it found 12 objects right here. We've got a bunch of shoes that it found, and we could even change this prompt to say something like boy instead, and rerun the cell. And now it's selecting boys. So we have this one all up and running. We can confirm that the SAM predictor model is working. So with this, we can hop back over into the Gradio interface, or if you want to keep playing around with some of the other notebooks in here, you're free to do so. Those kind of go through how you can use it and the code that allows you to use it. But for now, we'll hop back into the interface here. So I'm just going to go ahead and rerun that uv run Gradio app.py, and we can navigate back into here. So cool. So yeah, I'm going to load the models here. Once again, like I said, the models will automatically download for you. Now, once that finishes loading, I'll show you how you can quickly use the interface here. So for the upload section, you can find any image. We're just going to go into the assets folder, go into images, and let's just select this groceries one here, and it'll load it into the screen. You can interface this in a couple of ways right now. You can just click on the bags and put these green stars here. And so for this, actually, we're going to go ahead and delete this row here, or clear clicks. We're going to select one here. We're going to change the object ID and then select the next bag. We're going to run the image segmentation here, and we'll see that we've selected two bags here. So you can even see that the cropped regions, you have two different distinct items here in kind of like the selection that you can download later. But here we're going to need to just use these object IDs to select different items. So this is kind of finicky. I didn't get this perfectly done yet, but you can see we've got 4 distinct objects here. If I go to clear clicks and then accidentally just click on all of them with the same object ID, what'll happen is that they'll all be selected as one. So that's not what we want in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Now we can also just type in a text prompt, and we could say something like bag, and then just run image segmentation here. And you can see it has automatically selected all of the bags using its powerful text prompt understanding. So if you're curious about how much VRAM this is using, this is under 10 gigs of VRAM. So this should be suitable for a lot of GPUs out there. as long as you have around 12 gigs of VRAM. Now, when you are processing videos, it is going to take a little bit more because I think it requires more data inside of the cache when it is doing inference. So we'll go ahead and now head over into the video section, and I'll show you how you can kind of use this. So we can just grab any video here. We're going to be using the assets or the video inside of the assets folder. So back into SAM, assets, videos, and we're just going to choose this bedroom one here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this, and you can see we've got a video here. We've got a girl and a boy jumping up and down on this bed here. So we can just type in person here for the text prompt, and then we can just run the inference and propagation. So this is going to process the video. Unfortunately, I don't have any monitoring stuff right now inside of the terminal, but if you don't see any errors pop up, then you should be good to go. These are from something a little bit earlier, but this is going to process, so we'll just give it a moment. And here is the masked video. So you can see that we've got these bounding boxes, and then the segmentations are on the targets here, which is perfect. So yeah, depending on how long the video is going to be, how long it takes, but for that inference, we can just run that again just to see how much VRAM this uses. During the video inference, it's about 12 gigs of VRAM usage here. So yeah, we could probably chunk it a little bit smaller if we wanted to use less VRAM. So this only has 200 frames, so we would have to probably put this down to maybe like 50 or something like that, and then do the inference on there. But yeah, this is just kind of like a demo Gradio interface. It's not robust, and it's not for production, just for testing purposes. If you really want to get into the weeds on how this works, I totally recommend you go and look at the notebooks here for the step-by-step examples for opening up different inference sections for the video, and how you can do that with the images as well too. So we have those there, but for the interface, that's kind of just a quick little way that you can get through and test some things out with this model. And I think it's pretty cool. You can get coordinates for different images or different objects inside of an image. You can segment things out, maybe if you want to mask it out for maybe some type of asset collection and stuff like that. It's really, really good. Like if I go back into here, one thing that did impress me was just how good it kind of is at just finding things inside of an image. For example, we've got this messy little victory screen here. If I type in hair and do run segmentation, it's actually going to find me the hair of the characters in the frame here. And so we've got the hair. If I type in face, it's going to, it's not going to be able to find the face here. But if I type, let's see, head, no head. Okay, maybe character. We'll see if it gets character. Okay, well, this is just a different error. This is just an error with the code, but it will find those objects inside of it. I've tested this before. I just got to go back and check this out. But yeah, that is Facebook's Segment Anything model. It was released this week, and now there's been a string of things released this week that I think it's going to overshadow this. But this is kind of more of a, I'd say like a more of a niche application that you might need for specific use cases. And I think it's pretty cool and fairly useful. I was looking into it as I was looking into making gaming agents for AI. So, and we'll see how this is, how this might help. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Just a quick little video on Facebook's latest model for Segment Anything. Once again, I'd like to thank all the members of the channel for supporting me. Very much appreciate it, and I will see you guys later.